Update for oil on yet more promising vaccine news. Will this continue, this upside? Copper, remember, just breached a 2-year high. Phillip Streible joins us now from Blue Line Futures. Phillip, it's always great to see you. You reckon that for commodity investors, equity investors, there's light now at the end of that pandemic tunnel?
Yeah, especially on the infrastructure side. I mean, we believe that all the commodities, the major components to rebuilding an economy, and also the inflation plays are going to be great, end of the year tailwind into 2021 plays.
So I'm just trying to think, to what extent is this discounted? I mean, the euphoria over a faster bounce back from COVID than the pessimists had feared, eventually that'll wear out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to. So if you look at it, kind of two parts of it. One, obviously, we're completely crippled as an economy right now. I mean, if you come to Chicago, I can't take you anywhere. We can't go get a beer anywhere. Everything's closed down. No one's traveling. Everyone's sheltered in place. However, once you do get that vaccine and we get it approved, then you're going to see a takeoff. You're going to see a resurgence. Everyone is going to want to get out of the house. They're going to want to get in their cars. They're going to want to travel. They're going to want to fly places. It's going to be a slow opening, but the way investors chase assets is you look at all the value stocks. Those are the ones that already took off. So crude oil, for instance, OPEC's going to continue to maintain their cuts, but you look at the long run, is that can the price maintain these lower levels? And realistically, they're going to get bid up. So you're seeing gasoline, you're seeing crude oil. Crude oil breaks over 42. That's going to continue to move higher. Then it's the infrastructure spending. How the government rebuilds the economy is they focus on the restructure spending. And remember, for one industrial job and for one construction job, in order to finish that final project, you're going to create 7 jobs doing it. So you start to see copper prices really take off to the upside as well.
What about OPEC? You reckon, notwithstanding the strength in oil, it's become widely popular among the OPEC Plus members. Let's delay this production increase set for early next year.
Yeah, they can't increase any production whatsoever. They'd be just kicking themselves in the foot, because if the vaccine falls back apart, like all of a sudden they have bad testing, something unfortunate happens, it gets delayed again to where it's like widespread release. The governments are expecting middle of the year next year. Optimistic people are spring, but all of a sudden if it gets kicked down to fall and even winter again next year, so that could weigh in on prices again. You're going to get these really big swings in these markets. You look at gold, for instance, it had $30-$40 swing. You have silver 50-cent swings. You need to be willing to sell on these rallies, try and buy any kind of setback, and then maintain the thesis that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and inflation's going to kick in, because the Fed's not going to do anything to combat it. They want to see inflation build in, prices go up. So that's kind of the way we're playing it. We're using a lot of long-term call options in order to take advantage of it, where we don't get whipsawed with the futures.
What about copper? Copper breaching 2-year highs, well above $3.20 today. Is it inflated, do you think?
Yeah, copper is one of the best gauges of inflation. Actually, everyone says like gold and silver, but realistically, I mean, copper is one of the best ones. Also, crude oil is one of the best ones. And a lot of that determines whether or not we go into a deflationary, a stagflation, or a reflation period. So we believe that copper prices on an upside objective, realistically, we could see 360. That was an old double bottom back from years ago. I think we could come back to that level, and it seems like it's the path of least resistance going up. We already saw a lot of the countries out there try and build up their strategic stockpiles. I mean, copper is not going to, it's not like a grain where you need to get rid of it over a certain period of time. It's got staying power. It's just a matter of, when is it going to get utilized? And it seems like these governments globally want to, deploy whatever they can necessary to reinvigorate the economy.
I guess there's supply risk too. Peru is the #2 miner. There's been what many call a coup in that country, and there have been deaths and unrest.
Yeah, it's very easy to see some of these where some of the supply constraints and even the bottlenecks. So, you got to imagine that a lot of companies and a lot of countries that are going to be utilizing it, they're going to want to do it in the event that you get some kind of another bottleneck, say, going through certain areas, like if a trucking industry perhaps gets, coronavirus, they're truckers, they're not going to be able to distribute the products. I mean, how many things have we bought just personally that we bought that were supposed to come in normally in a week, and it takes 2-3 weeks out? Or you go buy toilet paper and there's limit too, there could be these types of things where bottlenecks, I think, also help support prices.
We'd better jump, Philip. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me.